WGAL News 8 begins with breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz here with Michael Fuller, and we are following a breaking incident in York County. As we first brought to you about 20 minutes ago, a call came in at 2:10 this afternoon for an act of policing that's still happening right now.
So now there is rapidly developing situations here. So we do know that the call came in around 2:10. That was confirmed to us by York County Emergency Management for an officer-involved situation. So Governor Shapiro just tweeted a couple minutes ago that he's been briefed of the situation and is actually on his way here to York County.
All right, Morrissey, thank you so much. And our live coverage continues with News 8's Bailey Martin.
Yeah, she's live at York's WellSpan Hospital. Bailey, what are you learning there right now?
We did just see a sheriff's car drive up there. We've also seen a lot of cars quickly coming out of the emergency room exit. And we also saw that helicopter, that medevac helicopter that Morrissey was mentioning, taking off from the helipad here at the hospital. This is video of it taking off, coming to the hospital. Like I said, we don't know much information about what is happening here at WellSpan York Hospital at the moment. I do have a phone call out to representatives from the hospital to be able to give us more information. I have not heard back. We also received word from a patient inside that there was an announcement over the speakers saying trauma in 12 minutes, which usually means that the team is ready for someone to come in.
We now have it confirmed via NBC News that 5 police officers in York County have been shot.
We have learned now that police were serving a warrant when they were fired upon, and the alleged suspect is believed to be dead.
Yeah, let's go to Susan Shapiro. She is now joining us live, I guess, near the scene there, Susan. Apparently you talked to a witness?
The amount of police that showed up.
That's right, Lori. We are about a half a mile from the scene where this farmhouse, where this all unfolded this afternoon. It is along Hard Drive. As you can see, it is blocked off with numerous police cars. Dave Miller was headed home. He lives right around the bend here, and he kind of saw all of this happening. Dave, tell me what you saw.
Well, I saw the police rolling in, and I pulled off the side of the road to get out of the way, and they put a drone up, and I looked over to the right, of course, and I saw the police in the barn. Looked like they were looking for someone, and then I heard the gunshots ring, and I saw people on the ground, and I got clear. And more police were still rolling in. They were coming in from all directions. It wasn't long till I heard a helicopter and coming in also. So it was quite an event.
When you saw people on the ground, those were police officers?
I couldn't see it quite clear enough whether it was a suspect, but it looked to me like it was a police officer, yes, in the middle of the road laying down, yep.
Reaction pouring in about this incident in York County from state leaders and lawmakers.
Now let's continue our team coverage with Tom Lehman. He joins us live at the state capitol with what they're saying. Tom?
Yeah, Lori and Brian, as more details emerge about this very, very serious situation in York County, we are certainly seeing a lot of concern being expressed by state lawmakers and leaders about what has happened. That includes from Governor Josh Shapiro, who is expected to take part in a news conference later this evening. Earlier today, he posted on X that he'd been briefed on the situation in York County and was on his way there now. He also said that he was asking people who were in the area to listen to the directions of law enforcement and Pennsylvania State Police.
We have some new developments coming in. News 8 has now confirmed that the York County coroner has been called to the scene of that incident.
I'm going to address you this evening concerning a critical incident that has rocked the community here in York County this afternoon. The incident occurred in Caduras Township, York County. I'd like to preemptively say that there are many details which at this point we are not prepared to release given the ongoing nature of the investigation. That having been said, we would like to advise the community that there is no current active threat. The situation today involved law enforcement officers who were shot. I can confirm that the shooter is dead. I can confirm that there were 5 law enforcement officers who were shot today. 3 fatally, 2 that were transported here to WellSpan in York. They are currently listed in critical but stable condition.
This kind of violence isn't okay. We need to do better as a society. We need to help the people who think that picking up a gun, picking up a weapon is the answer to resolving disputes. We need to do better when it comes to mental health. We need to do better when it comes to looking out for those who are in need, so we don't have to deal with tragedies like this.
Well, a lot to unpack there, Jerry. As you just heard, a lot of details now coming. We're hearing now 3 of those officers are now deceased and 2 still being treated for their gunshot wounds there at the hospital.
Yeah, that's right. Those 2 other officers in critical but stable condition, we're being told. Another big piece of news coming out of that, and you heard it right there at the end, is that they said that the suspect was shot by police. That is different than some of the other reports that we had gotten earlier. So now we know the suspect here was shot by police, also telling us just a little bit more about what may have brought the police officers to the scene here at Har Road and Emig Road in North Codorus Township this afternoon. They said it's a part of an ongoing investigation that started yesterday, and they said they would describe it as domestic related.
Today is not just a devastating day for this community in this region. It's a devastating day for our entire Commonwealth.
There are simply no words that I can offer to assuage the grief that this community has experienced.
And we continue to follow breaking news in York County after 5 police officers were shot. 3 were killed. 2 are being treated for their wounds. The suspect has also died. Welcome to News 8 at 11. I'm Lori Burkholder.
And I'm Michael Fuller. Tonight we have live team coverage for
Yeah, we got quite a bit of new information just within the last couple of minutes about what happened on that farm property this afternoon in North Codorus Township. Again, it was a shootout that led to 3 officers being killed and 2 injured. In fact, those 2 injured officers are here tonight at York WellSpan Hospital. We're told they're in critical but stable condition. We are learning that new information from CNN, and here it is. The shooter, we are told, is the ex-boyfriend of a woman who lived in the farmhouse where the deadly shooting happened. Let's go live now to News 8's Taylor Hess, where she is there with more on a procession held tonight. Taylor.
This is video from that procession as it took place. Just heartbreaking as those officers and EMS and people as they rode by, and some had their sirens on. Many community members lined this street here near Little Creek Community Park.
WGAL News 8 Today starts now.
It is 6 o'clock. We're taking a live look from our Harrisburg Skycam. We will check in with the forecast and the commute in just a few minutes, but first, Governor Shapiro ordered flags to fly at half-staff this morning to honor the 3 officers shot and killed in York County yesterday. Good morning, I'm Matt Barcaro.
And I'm Regina On. This morning we have team coverage in York County with the latest on those police officers killed and the 2 deputies that were hurt.
News 8's Caitlin Smith reporting live from Northern York County Regional Police Department this morning.
Yeah, we do have a lot of new information from overnight, but first I just want to have you take a look at the memorial behind me here. This is the new Northern York County Regional Police Department in Manchester Township, and we can show you some video so you can see a closer look at the flowers that have been placed in front of the police department in grass that looks like it was just planted, is still growing. There's a sign that says "End of Watch RIP." There are also flags placed in the L of the word police in the Northern York County Regional Police Department sign, and a note from someone just saying that this is hurting the community and that they are praying for the officers who lost their lives, and that includes 3 officers from this department and also 2 sheriff's deputies who were shot. They are in the hospital, those 2 sheriff's deputies. We can show you some video from AirView 8 of the scene as it was playing out yesterday. It started in the afternoon just after 2 o'clock, and you could see officers lining the roads that are leading down to Har Road. Multiple law enforcement officials who were briefed on this situation did tell CNN that the shooter was an ex-boyfriend of a woman who lived in a farmhouse there. On Tuesday night, we know Northern York County Regional Police responded to that home after the woman says she spotted her ex-boyfriend in a nearby cornfield. Now, when officers got there, they could not find him. That area is in North Codorus Township, and that is where we find News 8's Jacob Hunsaker as the police investigation on the part of state police is continuing today. Jacob.
Yeah, Caitlin, good morning to you. Good morning to all of our viewers out there this morning. We are currently live on Har Road, as you mentioned, which is in North Codorus Township. I want to step out of the frame here so I can show you what we are seeing this morning. You can see that farmhouse that is very well lit this morning. There were 2 floodlights that were left behind by officials last night that are, again, continuing to illuminate that house early this morning. So far, it has been fairly quiet here on the scene. The only other people that are here with us are other news crews. Officials seem to have left in the last couple of hours or so. We expected them to be here throughout the entirety of the night, but that seems to not be the case. I'm sure they'll be back here relatively soon this morning as they continue to investigate. If we turn the camera a little bit more to my left, your right, you can see right behind us where we are situated this morning, there's that police caution tape, which we believe this is that spot where the suspect opened fire on those officers as they were walking down Har Road. We can't confirm that for sure, but this is the only cornfield that we have seen that's adjacent to the property this morning.
The State Attorney General, York County District Attorney, and State Police Commissioner are expected to provide an update any minute now on what happened. And again, of course, we're talking about 5 police officers shot, 3 were killed in North Codorus Township, York County yesterday. So again, you can see there we're waiting for this press conference to begin. Let's go there now.
We're here today to go ahead and speak to you about the horrific events that occurred yesterday. I don't lie to my constituents. I never will. And so I'm going to say up front, this is extremely difficult. One of the most difficult things that any of us have ever had to go ahead and be a part of and to go ahead and do. But we're here today to go ahead and give you an initial finding of fact. And again, it's an initial finding of fact as to what happened yesterday.
Yeah, people are feeling that pain, they're feeling that sorrow all throughout the Commonwealth. We want to send it on over to News 8's Morrissey Walsh, who was at the press conference today. But Morrissey, actually, you were one of the first on the scene when this all took place. Give us an update on what's going on there.
Michael Thesmine, it was a very somber mood today in this press conference. The DA stressed how hard this was for everyone involved and that it's a difficult day for not only them, but York County. He said he released some new information saying that this whole incident yesterday only lasted 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So we are learning some new information about the 3 deputies who lost their lives yesterday. Their names are Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser.
We are learning more about the suspect, 24-year-old Matthew Ruth. We want to send it over to News 8's Tom Lehman, who joins us live in Penn Township with the latest.
It's Thesmine and Michael. It's really simple. He wasn't there. That was what the detectives who were looking for Matthew Ruth found when they arrived at this home here on Hall Drive in Penn Township.
The documents do not specifically name Matthew J. Ruth, but some incidents have ages that line up with his birthday. This one, from 6 years ago, says police were called to the home to potentially evict the 18-year-old son. In 2019, Ruth was 18 years old. Other calls include domestic incidents, mental health incidents, and miscellaneous situations that all reference the homeowner's son. The family on Har Road called police after seeing Ruth on their trail camera, dressed in camouflage, looking into their house with binoculars and an AR-15. They identified him as one of their daughter's ex-boyfriends.
We continue to learn more and more about this investigation that actually started as a domestic incident, but as you said, so many people have been impacted, especially some of the people who worked on this incident. We want to send it over to News 8's Bailey Martin. She spoke with an EMS worker who attended this incident. And Bailey, what did they have to say?
Yeah, Michael, you know, she recounted the scene to me in a way that was very descriptive, very graphic, and clearly still shaken up about the whole thing. I think the whole community is at this point.
It was like an ordinary day, and all of a sudden the page comes through. Police officers down.
Abigail Smith is an EMS worker who responded to the scene where 5 officers were shot in York County.
We were terrified to what we were going to go in, getting into. We didn't know what to expect.
We want to send it on over to AJ Sisson, who has more in this growing memorial. AJ, tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, Michael Thesmine, when you guys mentioned that Governor Shapiro said that this wasn't just a York County thing for mourning, this was a statewide Mourning's Day. We see it here. We have people coming from as far as Harrisburg to bring flowers. As you see behind me, we have people laying flowers now. 2 children there too. We are seeing families here at the Northern York County Regional Police Department.
a community in mourning.
They serve and protect all of us around here, so my heart goes out to all of them.
As fallen officers are remembered.
Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser. Each of these men represented the very best of policing.
They encountered a force of evil, hell-bent on taking lives.
You fought the critical fight for us. Job well done.
Tonight, communities in York County coming together to remember the 3 officers killed in the line of duty in yesterday's deadly ambush.
Jerry and Lori, we're here outside of St. Paul Lutheran Church. This is one of the locations of the many vigils that took place tonight. And I will tell you, over the past 24 hours, we have been hearing so many people say that they wanted to come out and lift up and love on the family and friends of these fallen officers. And tonight was no exception. This church was filled to the brim, again, with family and friends of the fallen officers, but some of these people didn't know the officers, but they just wanted to come out and be a part of community.
Yeah, really a testament of what a close-knit community this really is. Behind us at St. Paul Lutheran Church, there's at least 150 people inside taking part in prayers and also in the candlelight vigils happening all across the region.
We've lost some very, very nice men.
And so many lives will just be touched by this loss and this senseless act that we really just can't understand.
Such a sad and somber time. I feel for the families, even for the parents of the boy that, you know, did the shooting, and it just brings us all together. Just to remember them and not forget them.
Hundreds of people are expected to pay their respects today to the 3 officers from the Northern York County Regional Police Department, Detective Mark Baker, Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser. They were killed last week while serving a search warrant in North Codorus Township.
The procession along Cape Horn Road from the funeral home to the memorial service at the Living Word Community Church in York Township is about to start, and we do have a team of News 8 reporters along that procession route to be with you each step of the way. We do begin with Susan Shapiro. She is live at that church. Susan.
This gray, dreary day is much like the mood here, very serious and somber. Hundreds of police officers from all over Pennsylvania and beyond are already here.
They're stepping off right now as we speak. That procession is beginning here at the funeral home at Wagner Elfner in Berg, where they are headed to Living Word Community Church. We have tons of officers here. Of course, we have state police. We have Northern York County Regional Police. They are all getting ready to lead that procession to Living Word Community Church. They're stepping off here now.
But we also can't forget the personal loss for the families of these men, all 3 of them fathers. Mark Baker, father of 5. Cody Becker and Isaiah Emmenheiser, fathers of 2.
And we've seen from all over the entire northeastern part of the country. I was expecting to see people from just around our community, but I did speak to one officer from Camden County in New Jersey, and I asked, what made you come so far? And all he said to me was, we might not have known them, we might not have been close with them, but they are still our brothers in blue.
Saluting the fallen as they receive a hero's send-off. People coming from across the Susquehanna Valley and beyond to show their support for the families, friends, and law enforcement after last week's ambush in York County where 3 officers were killed.
Yeah, we have team coverage from across the area following every bit of today's ceremony.
And we want to start with News 8 Susan Shapiro. Susan.
This day started damp and dreary, and now the sun's been shining, but we are hearing about those severe storms. It was a long and emotional day for the hundreds of mourners who came here to the Living Word Community Church in Red Lion to honor these fallen officers.
Susan, the images of that procession are just so moving, but the words and the music of this memorial service were moving as well. The stories shared by some of the fellow officers this afternoon did offer that slice of life of the men we've lost, but also provided some levity, even some laughs, memories people will surely hold on to going forward. Fellow officers, friends, and faith leaders highlighted the accomplishments, shared memories, and recounted stories
of the 3 men lost a week ago.
Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser were the best of the best that ever served at Northern York County Regional Police Department.
Chief David Lash spoke for nearly 15 minutes, eulogizing the 3 officers. He shared these words about David Mark Baker.
Those who knew him best will remember him as a gentle giant, a man of deep compassion and kindness, with a humor that brought joy to all around him.
In an exclusive conversation you'll only see here on WGAL, Thesmi Mahfouz introduces us to an EMT and a paramedic of First Capital EMS who answered that call.
We always go through every single bag and make sure that we have everything we need, from oxygen to all of our meds to all of our needles and syringes and all that stuff.
You have to be prepared for whatever may come into your ambulance.
EMT Pierce Franklin and paramedic Dan Medford of First Capital EMS respond to some of the toughest and oftentimes life-threatening calls in York County.
The pager sound still gets to me.
North Kitteris Township, 1879, High Road, Signal 13.
But on September 17th at 2:13 in the afternoon,
York County units responding to the Signal 13.
5 law enforcement officers were gunned down in an ambush attack while serving an arrest warrant.
I see something pop up that says Signal 13, officer down.
At first, we didn't know a lot. It was just kind of, there's been an officer involved in a shooting.
It says something about so many shots fired that they couldn't count.
Dan and Pierce moved quickly, grabbing supplies.
You hear the things on the radio and you're like, I have to get there.
A 20-minute drive in this ambulance with Pierce behind the wheel and Dan closely listening to dispatch.
It's probably the most anxious I've been going to a call since being in paramedic school.
When they hear
3 officers, class 4, 1 officer, class 1.
3 officers, class 4.
Which is dead on scene.
I looked over at my partner and I was like, did we hear that right?
Flight nurse Jennifer Peterson.
I'm an adrenaline junkie. It is my calling. It is my passion. My heart's here. All right, Bill.
Spent the last 19 years flying over the Susquehanna Valley aboard Medevac 13.
I'd watch the helicopter land as a little girl. My dad and I would watch it, and I'd say when I grow up one day, I want to be in the back of a helicopter.
York EMS Command, we have Medevac 13 flying.
And that's where she was on September 17th.
That particular day, I think we were in the air less than 5 minutes to get where we needed to be.
5 law enforcement officers were shot 7 miles away from the base. 3 killed and 2 officers in desperate need to get to the hospital.
It was chaos. Unfortunately, every time we land on a highway or in a field, it is chaos. This day in particular, there was a lot more people on scene.
Within minutes, emergency teams worked to stabilize critically wounded York County Sheriff's Deputy Lieutenant David Godfrey.
Gunshot wounds are very unpredictable. You can't tell where they're hit at. Depending where they're shot at, can bleed into their belly, into their chest, into their pelvis, into their femurs.
This video shows Medevac 13 landing at Wellspan York Hospital with Lieutenant Godfrey on board.
Answering the call, we're sharing the stories of the men and women who responded to the York County ambush that took the lives of 3 law enforcement officers and injured 2 others. We've already heard from EMS and Medevac. Tonight, we're taking you to the trauma bay.
And Thesmi Mahfouz got exclusive inside access to Wellspan York Hospital's Level 1 Trauma Center, the only one in Adams, York, and Franklin counties.
The golden hour, the first 60 minutes after a shooting, when surgeons have the best chance to save a life.
A patient who is coming through the trauma bay as a trauma surgeon, I have to presume that they're here because they're bleeding to death.
Chief Trauma Surgeon Dr. Josh Hazelton has only had minutes to diagnose and operate.
The patient may literally be dying right here.
At the end of the table, Dr. Josh Hazelton.
Wellspan medical staff held this press conference highlighting the recovery of York County Sheriff's Deputy Lieutenant David Godfrey.
Upon arrival to the trauma bay, Lieutenant Godfrey was unstable and, as I said, bleeding to death. His injuries were life-threatening.
We consider them family, and we will do our best to make sure they get home to their families. Yep.
Both nurses are married to first responders, so treating a critically injured officer in the trauma bay struck a personal chord for them.
I've cried, I've shed tears, you feel all the feels knowing that it could have been him.
News 8 at 11 starts now.
Just really humbling to be part of his journey while he was here.
Tonight, we are sharing the stories of the men and women who helped a critically injured officer heal and return home. Good evening. I'm Lori Burkholder.
And I'm Jerry Gish. York County Sheriff's Deputy Lieutenant David Godfrey was one of 5 law enforcement officers shot on September 17th. 3 of those officers, Mark Baker, Cody Becker, and Isaiah Emmenheiser, lost their lives that day.
And now Thusmeen Mahfouz has an exclusive look at the last part of Lieutenant Godfrey's recovery inside WellSpan Surgery and Rehab Hospital.
Bullets tried to stop him, so did pain and doubt.
It was a tough thing to see.
Ambushed and critically wounded, Lieutenant David Godfrey refused to stay down. Every morning at WellSpan, physiotherapist Dr. Brian Wynn would help the former Marine earn each step.
A snap of the fingers.
But Dr. Wynn eases into the challenging workouts by adding an element of magic.
This was definitely one of the tricks that I showed Lieutenant Godfrey. It's something that I do for many of my patients.
And to see Dr. Nguyen every morning, he'd come in and he would come up with a card trick. And me always trying to beat somebody at the gate and figure it out, he stumped me every time.
We can help patients, show them what to do, but it's up to these patients to be willing to step through the door and participate.
The York County Sheriff's Deputy spent 16 days at WellSpan York Hospital, fighting to come back from life-threatening injuries.
I don't know how I could deal with this kind of situation, and the fact that he was so calm and ready to work.
But it's always progressing and making that task harder.
3 hours a day, one small victory at a time. Lieutenant Godfrey endured intensive daily therapy for 2 weeks, working alongside therapists Jolene Hill and Emily Davis.
I did call out a couple people, Jolene and Emily, because I think the last 2 weeks I've caused them the most stress with my therapy, trying to push them as they're pushing me.
A simple pass is probably the easiest for a patient to do once they're able to stand on that level surface.
Jolene and Emily walk us through exercises they use with patients. Simple stuff.
It's going to make her
like improving balance,
catch the ball, and bring herself back to the center.
And help with range of motion.
That endurance, that strength, the standing balance, the standing tolerance. This is almost like walking, but sitting. It's a repetitive motion.
The EMTs and officers who saved him, the trauma surgeons who stitched him back together, and the rehab team who wouldn't quit. They all rallied so the 24-year veteran could fight his way home and back to the community.
It is such a proud and humble moment to watch a patient regain their function and regain life and be able to go back out into the community.
Lieutenant Godfrey walked into this room with nothing but the brace and his own 2 feet. And I think that is a testament to the work ethic, the grit, and the strength that he showed. Today, we're getting Lieutenant Godfrey home, back to his family and back to the community that has rallied around him.
Lieutenant David Godfrey's journey isn't over. His comeback proves a simple truth. When life knocks you down, it's your move. Get up and keep rising.
Boy, it's inspiring to see that. And again, we've been talking about this. It's been amazing to watch your reports and see all the people involved in first saving his life. But once they did that, then to give him the life that he has now through the rehab.
And the one neat thing I saw in that last shot there, all the support that he had from all those people, you know, supporting him, that had to have made a difference to him.
Absolutely. I mean, just having each of these conversations, not only do we have this deep level of just awe and inspiration seeing Lieutenant Godfrey, but also a deeper level of respect, appreciation, and now understanding for what all of these people do on a day-to-day, not just for Lieutenant Godfrey, but for everyone in our community. So, I mean, we are in safe hands. As we talked about before, these teams are so ready, and we are so lucky to have them. So, Lieutenant David Godfrey, he has been going back to rehab for physical therapy appointments, and we actually spoke to him after one yesterday. Here's what he said.
From a first-hand perspective, I can tell you, watching every individual section and element of this process, they performed flawlessly and excellent. I can't thank them enough for everything they did for me, for saving me, and for putting me back to recovery, hopefully at 100%.
He's at 100%. We are so excited to announce an upcoming exclusive project that we're working on with Lieutenant Godfrey. I will be sharing more details of that soon, but this has just been a wonderful journey following through each of the steps with him.
Yeah, I'm glad to see where he is now,
Absolutely.
too.
A lot of people have been wondering how he's been doing,
Yeah.
so it's nice to bring that. Looking forward to the next part of this to come.
Yep,
All right,
stay
that's
tuned.
me.
That's me. Thank you.